Hi, my name is Caley Roberts. I'm the producer on Sly Cooper, and we'd like to show you some new levels, and here's HipHopGamer.
Yeah, baby, it's HipHopGamer. I'm here, my boy Caley, we chilling, and I gotta give him the belt. It'll be an honor for you to hold the belt because you're a true gamer, and only true gamers get to wear my belt. You know what I'm saying? Now, first off, I'm gonna show you how crazy this is. He showed it to me on a PS3, right? Also got the PS Vita version. Both of them look crazy. Now, let me ask you a question, right? Now that you got PS Vita and PS3 at your disposal to work with hand in hand, how has it been in terms of the experience, being able to save here and then continue with there? You know, a lot of people would really would love to know how does that work and how well is it being implemented in this game?
It's actually being implemented very seamlessly. What you're going to have to do is obviously there's an autosave version in our game, so auto saves. As soon as you autosave, you can take that save and literally push it right up to the cloud. Up to the cloud, download it straight to your Vita. I mean, it's almost seamless. As long as you're connected to a Wi-Fi spot, you can literally start from the same checkpoint you left off on the PS3 and move it straight onto your Vita.
Now that's crazy. Now let me ask you this, because I think this is very important. What are you doing with the Vita? Like, what are you utilizing? Whether it's the back touch pads, touch screen, what are you doing to make it separate from the PS3? Because that's actually the key selling point. And I'm telling you right now, some games that I've already played using the Vita, I understand why it stands out. So you gotta prove it to me. You gotta let me know. But someone's fine. So
we actually have some cool features. So obviously you know me, and I've worked with you a long time. Yeah. One of the things that we like to do when we make our games is make sure that the thing we're implementing on the Vita makes the game more fun. Okay. And makes the game stand out. All right. So the first thing you see is we obviously are using the front touchscreen, we're using the back touchscreen, but we're also going to be using the tilt sensor and the gyros. So the first thing is we have a costume in our game that's an archer costume, and with the PS3 you use the arrows in the air. You can steer them with the analog sticks. But on the Vita, you actually use the tilt sensor, and you can move your arrows by actually moving the entire Vita. So it's
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Now the one that I really like is in the game there's a Binocucom. The Binocucom is kind of like binoculars. Bethany can talk to you through the Binocucom, and you can kind of look around the world. But on the Vita, when you bring the Binocucom up, you actually have to move the Vita like they were binoculars.
See, that right there is crazy, because it's like, I'm gonna be honest, there's like a few games that I wish would have used that, but that's why I appreciate the development lines that you guys got, because let's say you on a train, son, and you up there start doing this, people will be like, yo, what are you doing? But it's gonna bring attention to the game, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's fun because everybody gets a chance to enjoy it. So now, here's the thing. Here's the thing that everybody knows I love music, hip hop, right? Here's the chorus of the video game, all right? I'm the first one to ever say that. Here's the chorus to the video game. I love the fact that when you switch costumes, it changes the entire dynamics of the game and the levels that you experience. Can you kind of let them know about the costumes and how does that gameplay transfer into the game, and also how you can expand on it even after the release of the game?
Cool. So one of the things we like about this is Sly this time is going to have these brand new costumes, like I talked about, an archer costume. We've released a brand new samurai costume from feudal Japan.
I got to see that.
And these costumes, when you put them on, will afford you new abilities. Not only will you see these abilities in missions that you get to play, where you'll have to find puzzles and use the costumes to unlock certain areas, you can also go back into the hub world and find areas in the game that you normally wouldn't have been able to get to. Now our lead game designer, Matt Kramer, he calls them aha moments. What that means is in the beginning of maybe Japan, you look around, you're like, I don't understand how I get to that place. But later on, when you get to England, you're going to unlock a costume. Once you get that costume, you're like, oh my god, I can go back and find all these crazy areas that you would not have found before. And like you said, now expansion-wise, you know, even after the game is released, you're going to be able to see things, and maybe if you wanted to, maybe there might be DLC or something along those lines that's going to allow you to use those costumes to go to new areas. Now, I'm not saying anything about DLC yet, but understand that there is a lot of expansion that we could do with these costumes because they afford you all these different and exciting new ways to play the game.
Alright, now I'm gonna piggyback on something that we spoke about earlier, and you was talking about a contest that you guys had earlier where like fans could like draw something or draw a slide or whatever, and then submit it, and let the developers check it out. Here's something that I think would be so crazy. If you guys had some sort of way where like fans could either draw or customize their own Sly costume, and you guys can actually utilize it and build something around it. I think that would be crazy because now the community you know, is getting involved some kind of way that can actually help the production of the game even after its release. Is that something that you guys would probably work with the community? Is that a possibility?
No, I have to tell you this. I mean, I know a lot of people say this, but I have to tell you that the Sly community are the most avid, awesome fans I have ever seen. Sanzaro gets 4 to 5 fan mails every week from little kids writing actual mail, not emails, like literally writing on pieces of paper and having them send them in through snail mail with pictures. I mean, they have a huge fan wall of all their fan art. And so we really kind of wanted to do something with the Sly Cooper fans, and that's why we reached out for our costume, or excuse me, the contest where we were doing all these secret treasures.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things for me, you know, being in the games industry, when you get to affect a game and something that you talked to your development team about, and you saw that change, and you saw that change make the game better, it's the same thing for the fans. When they get to see their art that they worked so hard on creating, seeing it in the game is the most the most amazing experience ever. I mean, the only thing that I was sad about was that I didn't get to pick everything. We got to sit down and we went to hundreds and hundreds of different contests, entries, and submissions. It was just so hard to pick the 2 for the U.S.
I can imagine how that's, you know, you don't want to make the decision, like, you know what I'm saying? I understand where that comes from. So, but son, just to piggyback on what you said, I appreciate you guys too. Like, I didn't work on the game, but I love the game. I love playing the game, and I appreciate you guys showing love to Caley, SONY, and everything that they're doing over there. That's huge, and we need it. Seriously, like, we need it. So, a couple more questions, and we're gonna end it off like this. Now, story-wise, right? I see that, you know, like the first run-through that you showed me, you had the save of one of your ancestors and stuff like that. So my thing is, with the way the game is going, you know, can you give us a little bit more insight on the story and actually how these costumes relate with the story and what you're trying to accomplish at the end?
So, what happens basically is that the Devious Raccoon starts to disappear. Bentley realizes we got to bring the whole gang back together and go through time to meet our ancestors. And what ends up happening is every time you get to a time period, something's wrong. The ancestors imprisoned, or you know. And what ends up happening is to break them out, you have to go find this some sort of costume. So built into the story, you will understand exactly why you're going to get these costumes and how you're getting these costumes. And through that story, you're going to get to meet their ancestors. You're going to kind of see the time periods that they all grew up in. And each one of these ancestors is such a unique character. You know, voiced by all of our fantastic voice actors. We brought back all the original voice actors: Kevin Miller, Matt Wilson for Bentley, Chris Murphy for Murray. So you're going to get these amazing performances from these guys. Sanzar has done an amazing job with their animation and really bringing these characters to life and giving them that real good personality that the Devious Raccoon has never really kind of translated. So meeting them in person is going to make you understand that they're just as real as Sly and Murray and Bentley, and not just these kind of fictionless characters on paper.
Alright, now, will there or will there not be a demo? Please tell me what I want to hear.
Actually, we just announced on the PlayStation blog that inside of the Ratchet collection,
the HD collection is it?
That is correct. Inside the HD collection, you will be able to get a first look preview of our Sly demo.
Oh, you serious?
Yep.
You see, I be breaking stories on the HipHopGamer show, you know what I'm saying? Keeping it gangster. I didn't even know that. That was hot. That was hot. All right, so now here's the last question. Here's something that I think the fans will appreciate, and I think it'll be unique to the actual Sly stories. Now, I think it'll be real dope with the inclusion of all the ancestors and different costumes, because I think this is the biggest play on the game. Do you guys got plans for some serious hardcore competitive modes? I think that will be so crazy. I'm gonna tell you why. It'd be dope if you was able to choose some of the ancestors that you're saving. There's a mode where you can play as them or play with them and go through a certain story like that. I think it'd be so cool, and I don't recall Sly ever having that type of energy, you know, in a game where you got that competitive co-op and stuff like that. I think it'd be so cool. You guys got plans for that, or have you thought about it?
We haven't really thought about that. I mean, right now we're really focused on just trying to get this game out for fall. Make sure that the game that we have is something that everyone's going to enjoy. You know, obviously it's going to be E10 plus, and when I say E10 plus, I mean a game for everyone. Someone at 34 years old, I love playing Sly. So I know a lot of people. I am 34.
You 34?
Yeah.
I thought you was 24.
I like the 24. Not anymore.
Alright.
I'm an old man now.
You ain't that old. You got some muscle.
No, we really just want to get this game out because we feel like everyone can enjoy it from an 8-year-old all the way up to 45, 50. I mean, it's a great game. It's got great humor. It's got great animation. It's got great gameplay. I mean, it's got everything that you would want in a family-friendly title. So you should look forward in fall because I think you're really, really, really enjoy it.
Yo, it's gonna be crazy. I got a question for you that I never asked you on camera, but what was the first game you ever played?
The very first game I ever played in the arcade, or because there was no
Home console.
My first home console.
Your first home console and the first game you ever played.
I mean, it would have to be like Adventure.
Adventure, really?
Yeah.
Mine was Pac-Man on Atari 2600.
Pac-Man was there too. Dig Dug was there.
Dig Dug was gangsta.
I mean, Cubert was
Cubert was gangsta too.
I have to say, I mean, partial to River Raid. That was my jam. That was the one I played back in the day.
I remember.
On the ColecoVision, bro.
ColecoVision, I remember the numbers.
Yep. Dude, the only problem is you'd always lose the little gamepad that came with it, so you had to remember what button it was because you didn't know all the specials were on the gamepad, on the number pad.
Alright, so you way more advanced than me because I was such a kid. I was really learning games. So I just wanted to, I had to ask him that so you guys can understand that, we work hard, you know what I'm saying? But, creative minds, like being in person with my man Caley, it means a lot. And I just wanted you guys to know that he's a true gamer as well as a game creator. One love and God bless your boy HipHopGamer. Stay tuned for Sly this fall. Peace.